Chapter 6 A Seasoned Showdown. One by one, cult underlings scurried into Knight's embrace, leaving their leader alone and somehow diminished despite iron bars. Now, details. Who leads you? And what dark design spurred this misguided crusade? There was a deep sigh, and then words tumbled forth as if a dam breaking at long last. Our master is called Masala. He came to us with promises of a cleansed world ruled by the strong, but his experiments turned ever more depraved, twisting even nature's order. Please, I beg you to stop his madness before anyone else remains untouched by corruption. Sage turned to allies as cultists dissolved into anguished sobs. Our true enemy remains elusive. But now we have a name, Masala? Come sunrise, the hunt for answers moves abroad once more. Citizens have nothing further to fear from these, and Flavor's justice was reasonably met this night, and it was well done. Rest now in the triumph of non-violent resolution. Their work was far from over, but peace reigned for one night at least. Morning brought renewed purpose as allies gathered once more. Last night's interrogation bore fruit, and Paprika began. This Masala seems our true quarry, pulling strings from shadows. But where to search in such a vast world? At that moment, a commotion arose outside. The conference of flavors was set to commence, and the remaining flavors cried alarm at further disappearances overnight. Salt and Pepper emerged from the fray, regarding the group coldly. We face an epidemic, yet Flavor Patrol proves inept, as always. Order must be restored through strength, not these fruitless antics. As council elders, we're convening an emergency session immediately. All policymakers will attend under the pain of sanctions. Don't dawdle. We've no time for foolish games. With that, their retinue swept away, leaving a grim warning in their wake. This reeks of a trap, Sage muttered. But we'd be careful to glean what insights may be had. Gochujang nodded in agreement. Go, but stay vigilant. I fear darker designs lurk beneath surface machinations. The rest of you, keep watch from shadows and be ready to act at a moment's notice. The group filed into the cavernous hall, finding remaining flavors clustering anxiously while Salt and Pepper conferred amidst a hush of fear. At last, Pepper took the stand, voice carrying an oily charm. Dear friends, dire times call for strong leadership. These disappearances make plain that Flavor is under attack by evil forces beyond control. But together, as one unified body ruled with a sure hand, we can weather any storm. I now propose a motion that this council vest full emergency powers in myself and Salt until the crisis ends. Who shall second this motion? There was a beat of uncertain silence, and then one clove stepped forward tentatively. I second the motion, lords. Please, do what must be done to save us all. Pepper smiled broadly. Motion has been made and seconded. All in favor, declare your support. A wary chorus arose amidst a current of coercion. And were you opposed? None spoke, yet unease hung thick as mist. It is decided then. Flavor's fate is ours to determine until further notice. Now, for your protection, you all must come with us. At that moment, chaos erupted as masked figures poured into the hall wielding cudgels. Citizens struck back with whatever came to hand, yet the ambush was overwhelmed by brute force. Salt strode amongst the fray, voice carrying a frigid edge. Seize any who resist, the rest fall into line if you value your essence. A game is afoot, and we hold all the cards. Sage and allies burst from concealment. Unhand them, villains, your schemes end. Here! Salt turned, eyes glinting with cold mirth. Ah, the meddlesome detective returns. You've bumbled long enough. It's time these fools learned true power. Attack! And with that, the battle was wholly joined. Cultists swarmed as Pepper shouted directives, yet they found themselves outmatched by varied society skills. Clove wove amongst assailants, downing 3 in the blink of an eye, while time danced out of reach, pelting foes with noxious powders. Sage engaged Salt directly, trading flurries of blows that shattered tiles and set pulses racing. Their struggle carried an epic weight, the destiny of countless flavors hanging in the balance. At last, an opening was presented, and Sage grunted with effort as she toppled the Salt tyrant onto jagged shards. Yield! She spat through labored breaths as allies subdued the last stragglers. Pepper eyed the scene, composure cracking around frantic eyes. You've ruined everything. But Masala, he won't let this stand. With that, he lunged for Sage, only to meet a fatefully placed knife, guts spilling amidst horrified gasps. Paprika turned to the assembled masses. Citizens, you've glimpsed the true face of tyranny lurking where trust was given. No flavor shall ever fall to such designs again, not while the society stands vigil. As for these cultist allies, flavor will see justice meted out, have no doubt. But for now, savor this hard-won victory. A mighty cheer swelled as hope was restored at long last. Chapter 7: A Spicy Surprise. The aftermath of the battle saw flavors rebuilding and regrouping with renewed spirit. Citizens rejoiced in restored freedom while cultists faced trial, including their injured leader imprisoned under society guard. As for Sage and allies, questions remained about Masala's motives and designs. They gathered once more at Tine's shop. Our victory rings hollow without tracking Masala to his lair, began Paprika grimly. The cult leader speaks of corrupted experiments. We must uncover what horrors he unleashed. But where does the trail lead from here? All gazed at the map, pondering in frustrated silence when a creak from the stairs drew their eyes. The cult leader hobbled down, flanked by stern-faced Clove and Saffron. Forgive the intrusion, but eye overhead, and believe I can point you towards your quarry, he said. Under society's care, my wounds mended both my body and twisted beliefs. Now I wish only to undo the harm I helped cause. His cagey eyes held no deceit that Sage could detect. Speak your knowledge, and flavor will know you redeemed your sins. With a nod, he leaned over the map, tapering his finger, indicating a remote island chain. Masala has a private stronghold hidden behind wards and illusions that bend reality. Few know its secrets, and fewer have braved that cursed place. I've said enough. May your skills see his madness ended before none remain untouched. With that ominous note, he retreated, leaving allies to weigh heavy implications. An island fortress beyond rational laws of physics. This will tax even seasoned talents, mused Time gravely. Many fell defending lesser evils. How does one combat that twisting what should be? At that, Gochujang emerged from pensive. Silence. I know of ancient arts that may pierce Masala's glamours if practiced in seclusion with focus undisturbed. Give me 3 nights, and I'll forge the tools to guide our mission. Have faith, Flavor's future remains ours to shape. Nodding acceptance, Paprika turned to the crew. That gives brethren time to resupply for the trials ahead. Muster provisions and fortify resolve. We set sail at the moon's dark heart. Dismissed. Sage met Gochujang's steady gaze, sharing unspoken trust, though mysteries still cloaked them. Answers would come in time, but for now, duty called above all else. Fortune favors the bold, and may Flavor's blessings shield each step of their perilous path ahead. 3 nights passed swiftly as Gochujang secluded in a trance like ritual, emerging at last with filter bottles aglow with lurid light. Drink deep, companions, and Masala's illusions shall part before keen sight. With that final preparation, allies boarded a sturdy schooner provisioned for the voyage. After the seas were calm and fierce, the first sightings of jagged shores appeared through sea mists. Paprika turned to the crew arrayed upon deck. Beyond this point, danger dogs are our heels. Stay vigilant and hold fast to purpose. With luck, by week's end, Masala will know defeat, and his horrors be no more. A rousing cheer swelled as the isle loomed before them, cloaked in foreboding mists. Little did they guess what mysteries awaited in that cursed place's shadowed depths. Chapter 8: International Intrigue. Landing proved arduous through battered coast and treacherous cliffs. Only Gochujang's potions allowed picking safe trails where solid rock seemed a liquid illusion. By dusk, an inland plateau rose amidst tangled wood, offering a haven for the night. While allies set camp, Sage felt eyes upon her back unlike any sensation before. Whirling, she started to find space behind, or was it? A distortion like heat haze warped perception where nothing should stir. She rubbed dazzled eyes, doubting her senses yet unable to shake a looming presence's weight. Gochujang joined her gaze, frowning. There are ears even here. Come, drain this draught. Together, our sight may pierce the veil. As one, they drank, and where solid air appeared now, stood a translucent shape, swaying to some unfathomable rhythm. Masala, a wispish voice, sighed. You seek the corrupter, yet walk blind to true power woven through this isle's every grain. Turn back here. Chains of flesh and folly bind your potential forever. With that, the apparition dissolved upon the breeze. Unsettled, Sage related the encounter to Paprika by crackling the firelight. A mysterious entity warned us yet bore no apparent malice. Its parting words seemed almost pitying. What manner of beings dwell in this forsaken place? No easy answers were presented, yet dawn renewed vigor as troops broke camp. All morning they trekked through dense wood, when rhythmic pounding and eerie chanting rose from afar, not entirely alien yet twisted far from nature's design. Investigate with care, Paprika ordered. Gochujang alone took the lead, the potion uncorked. Parting boughs revealed a clearing where robed figures pulsed in unison, gathered around a dread altar stained black with sins unknown. Gochujang tensed, exclaiming soft yet urgent. Masala's cult persists even abroad, evolving into new horrors. We must infiltrate their ranks to glean purpose and track their leader. Leave disguise to me, have faith, and follow my lead. Then, cloaking themselves in a warp of sound and smell, Gochujang emerged transformed, slipping into cadenced rituals with unnerving ease. Sage and allies fell into step, maintaining studious devotions while gathering grim insights. Sacrifices fed some nameless hunger, essences extracted for dark experiments twisting both physics and soul. When rituals climaxed, Gochujang gestured subtly now. In the commotion, allies fell upon cultists with potent spices that incapacitated foes. Secure prisoners for interrogation while I glean trail hence, Gochujang directed. Answers will come, though the path ahead grows darker. Chapter 9 Final Flavor Fight. Under careful watch, interrogations began amid flickering torchlight. Names and operations were uncovered, yet when asked of Masala, cultists fell deathly still, trance-like grip holding tongues paralyzed. Only one rasped in a foreign accent, Moss. Turfor. Bids. His he? Kretz. Gochujang pondered these ominous revelations. Masala's power grows beyond any warlock, binding souls with no escape. We face magics beyond ken, yet where lies his fortress stronghold? At that, the foreigner stirred, meeting Gochujang's probing gaze with resignation. D. Per in. To black. E.S. T. Wood. Bay. And. All. Maps. A breakthrough at last. Paprika declared. Come dawn, we venture into the depths, following any trail, no matter how faint or fallen. Victory hangs in the balance. Flavor's future rests on our shoulders alone. Courage, friends. Together, nothing may withstand our united front. At first light, the troop braved twisting paths through strangling vines and mists as dense as wool. Sage struggled to place foreign sensations assailing heightened senses, grotesque symphonies carried on unnatural breezes, essence scents triggering repressed nightmares half-formed. Just as hope seemed lost, a yawning crevasse split the earth, abyssal caves plunging into the very roots of madness itself. Descend, and fate shall be met head-on. Paprika rallied the flagging band. Their destiny awaited below. Torchlight flickered upon walls scored by claw, marks testifying to nameless terrors. At last, an antechamber opened, horrors beyond figment strewn as if casually discarded playthings. But one tableau seized attention. Cultists arrayed in worship around a bound figure, struggling against bonds too profane to witness. All thoughts but rescue fled as allies burst into battle again. Spices potent against flesh, yet feeble against malevolent auras warping the air. Paprika grappled with a hulking brute, while Clove dove between flailing foes. Sage engaged the elite guard. A whirling cloud of sage and sandalwood fury. From the cavernous dark, a slow applause echoed. So, the last of Flavor's guard dog meddlers arrives at long last. A sonorous rasp carried through the amber gloom, materializing into a towering shape swathed head to toe in opalescent robes. I applaud your resilience, morsels, yet your meddling ends here. This world shall be remade anew, with only the solid savoring of life's richness as destiny demands. With a passive gesture, reality warped, and Sage's senses whirled off balance. From an unfamiliar dimension. Somehow, Sage maintained bearings, countering hexes, and parrying blows from Masala's cult, forged guard in a deadly grace dance. Allies coordinated magnificent charges, chips appearing in Masala's mercenary armor. A staggering blow sent the warlock reeling backward toward his sacrificial altar. Paprika leaped, driving sanctified spices into robed flesh with a primal howl. Masala's scream split forever nightmares as form dissolved into a haze, dispersing on ebony winds. Exhausted yet exultant, allies gathered around the liberated captive. My friend, you survived unspeakable torments with an indomitable spirit. Together, we have restored balance, though scars may linger long. Come, flavors await your return to embrace one who exemplifies their resilience. Their quest was complete at last, but what of the island's lingering dangers? Only time would tell if Masala's legacy was still threatened beyond demise. Chapter 10: A Savoring Success. The return voyage felt like a surreal dream after the horrors faced. Yet on clear waters, Sage came to terms with memory's weight, solace born of duty fulfilled. Flavor's fate no longer hung by a thread, yet uncertainty lingered where baleful forces stirred. Landing brought joyful reunions, with citizens embracing the returning band as conquering heroes. A celebratory feast was arranged, and flavors from across oceans joined the community restored. Paprika took the stage amidst merriment and addressed the crowd. Friends, we had emerged from darkness maw through unity and bravery when all seemed lost. Masala's madness has ended, yet new mysteries remain regarding outside threats. To that end, the Society will establish permanent outposts worldwide, watching over flavor through camaraderie and mutual understanding between peoples. None shall fall unjustly while this brotherhood stands vigil. Rapturous cheers swelled as a new dawn of cooperation dawned. Sage basked, heart light, yet mind pondering her place now that duty called elsewhere. A comforting presence joined her at the parapet, gazing across glittering waters. Gochujang said softly that your skill and insight restored hope when all was a shadow. Wherever the winds blow next, know you always have an ally. Sage smiled, grasping the offered hand. There is wisdom in your ways, and community strengthens what solitary protection cannot. Perhaps together we might safeguard flavor by understanding that its true spice lies not in dominance, but in diversity. What say you? Shall we see where friendship's road leads from here? Gochujang returned the smile, eyes kindling with renewed purpose. The future remains unwritten. Let us make it something beautiful. Their journey was far from over, but for one sweet moment, fate's patterns rewove through tender shoots of understanding blooming where once only darkness thrived. And upon misty shores, a presence unseen smiled, duty complete, as flavors of all stripes danced free upon a tapestry restored. The end.